Welcome back to USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida. We're running the Coors Light 250 for the Hooters Cup late models and 166 laps on the board. I'm Roby Helm with Mark Bishardi and Dick Anderson alongside Doug Rice reporting from the pit area. We are under caution. The number 55 car hitting the wall up in turn 2. Mike Whitcomb's Chevrolet up on the hook, headed back for the pit area as the field forms up for the restart. And we had just gone back to green when the crash happened up in turn 2, and a lot of pit stop activity. And Dick Anderson with 166 on the board, less than 100 laps to go in this 250 lap event as you see the throngs gathered in the pit area. Is everybody pretty much on sequence now as far as pit stops go?
I think so, Roby, but we're about to get to the point where you're not going to see anybody holding back much longer. They're going to start letting these cars run as hard as they'll run.
Do you believe that anybody else of the front runners is going to have to come back in before the end of the race?
Well, the way their car runs is going to dictate that. If they feel they've got a good set of tires on, they can make it on fuel, you'll see some of them go the rest of the way. But the ones on the lead lap that are having a little problem dropping back, you'll see them maybe come in and try to improve and take on a couple more tires.
Up in the flag stand, starter Tony Boswell has his hand on the switch that'll turn on the green light, waves the green flag. Bobby Gill brings him down. Green flag is back out, so Bobby Gill back on the point. And I believe, Mark Bishardi, that the 43 car went a lap down in the pits.
I think he must have, because where they lined him up on the restart. This is going to be quite a race. You got a lot of cars in traffic right now. Bobby Gill's trying to check out on him, but I don't think he's going to get away from him, which shows how quick the 43 is. He's hanging right there with him.
I think Mark Darrell Shelnut must have lost a lap in the pits also, because he was lined up with the cars a lap down, so I hate to see that.
I saw him make a late pit stop, like the last caution, so that may be the situation.
Let's take a look at the replay and see what happened to bring out that last caution with the 55 car of Mike Whitcomb. There you see it up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Car just got loose. He tried to save it, and when he did, the left rear hooked up, and he spun it to the right up into the wall.
Like I said, a lot of these guys were starting to get on worn-out tires, and it's a whole different ballgame when them tires have no adhesion to them, Roby.
Well, that ended his night. You can see that the car was damaged earlier in the evening. The front end just about peeled off of the car, so finished it off with the left rear corner up in turn 2. And the leaders in heavy lap traffic, Dave Mader running in the 3rd spot in car number 92, Mike Garvey 4th. 5th is Scott Hansen, and 6th is the 10 car, I believe, of Mario Gosselin. So they're all right there running for position on the racetrack.
Well, I think we talked about it during the commercial that Dave Mader seems to get off the corner a little better than what Garvey does, but Garvey beats him into the turn.
Yeah, Dave's having a little problem in the middle of the corner, but that Dodge is still coming off that corner and going down that straightaway.
Dick, can you make an adjustment behind the steering wheel and the way you drive the race car to correct a problem like that?
Well, you can help it, but only to an extent. Yeah.
I know about the only thing that you can do on board the race car is change the brake bias, as far as changing the amount of brake you have in the front compared to what you would do in the rear. Can that help a situation like that?
Yeah, and again, that can only help it to an extent. If you've got a serious, that's more like fine-tuning with that brake bias, but if you've got a serious problem, the brake bias or the way you drive the car won't help it.
Scott Hansen getting underneath Mario Gosselin as they battle for position on the racetrack. Hansen with 2 fresh tires. Mario Gosselin, the only one of the leaders with 4 fresh tires, but you would think that Bobby Gill had 4 fresh tires the way he's running out there, and maybe in effect he might have 4 fresher tires than the others. He's made 2 stops earlier in the race for tires, Mark.
Well, he did. He pitted early, but he had to. He got out of sync right there at the first part of the race, and now it seems like he's right back with the program up front.
He's running excellent at the moment, Mark.
I was just watching Mario being on the outside of Scott Hansen. Hansen kept him there for like 2 laps. Does that wear them tires out a little bit more?
Yeah, you don't want to stay on that outside too long, because if you stay out there for more than a couple laps, it does wear the tires worse.
Well, it looks like Mario being on the outside kind of woke Scott Hansen up, because he's picked up 2 places since then.
But Mario's coming right with him. I really believe Mike Garvey actually fell off the pace a little rather than them picking it up.
That's the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th position on the racetrack. Bobby Gill is your leader in car number 71. Russell Beard in car number 75 being scored in the 2nd spot. Dave Mader and Dick Anderson's number 92 Dodge Daytona running in the third spot. There you see fourth place Scott Hansen, car number 53, pulling on the rear deck lid of the Dodge Daytona. Back in the sixth spot, or the fifth spot, it'll be Mario Gosselin, car number 10, and running sixth, Mike Garvey in car number 91. And Garvey's in the wall. Mike Garvey hits the wall in car number 91, and he's trying to pick that pace back up, but apparently got tangled up with somebody or had a problem on the 91 car.
I hate to see that because Mike's up there high in the points, and I know he wanted a good finish.
So Mike Garvey running up with the leaders earlier in the RC Cola Draft. Number 91, McVie Contractors Chevrolet Monte Carlo, but now losing several positions after tagging the wall up in turn 2. And Mario Gosselin, he's turned up the wick in the Budweiser Chevrolet as he's moved up into the third spot, now challenging Bobby Gill for second.
Yeah, with those 4 fresh tires, Mario's running real well, as he should be.
Well, how long does that last for 4 tires be better than 2?
Actually,
there goes Russell Bearden.
Bearden. He's way out of shape. Boy, he had his hands full. That was a nice job of saving that one.
That was an excellent job because you get up in those loose gravels and all, it feels like you're on ice once you get up there.
And it didn't look like he lost that much ground on the racetrack as far as track position goes.
Yeah, he lost some ground, but he didn't really lose any positions to speak of.
And we got Dave Mader going underneath Bobby Gill down in turn 3 and 4. There's battles all over the place out here.
There really are. Like I told you, we got to the point in this race where these guys they're not going to be riding and taking it easy anymore. They're going to be showing their hand.
And boy, what a hand Scott Hansen has right now in the 53 car as he's opened up a pretty decent lead on the second place car of Mario Gosselin. Looks like it's about 20 car lengths. There you see Hansen, and there's Gosselin in the Budweiser Chevrolet, but he's pedaling hard and getting a big push there from the 92 car, Dave Mader. They see the leader pulling away, so they're in a hurry.
Yeah, I tell you what, Dave come from quite a ways back and ran right up on Mario. I'm really surprised. He got right by Bobby and then closed right up on Mario.
He's trying to go to the inside, but lap traffic in front of him will prevent that move. He'll tuck back in behind the Budweiser Chevrolet down the front straightaway into turn number 1. This is your battle for the second spot, and that's really got to play on your mind a little bit when you get into a pack like that and you think you've got one guy you have to beat. You get by him, and then you look in your mirror and you see somebody like Dave Mader coming in behind you. Like, where did he come from?
Well, Dave's trying to make a move on the outside of Mario. Now, I don't know whether Dave's turned up the wick or whether Mario's falling off the pace a little here, but Dave's definitely got the better race car right now.
They're all racing like there's about 5 laps to go right now, and we still have about 58 laps to go, so still a ways to go. Things are definitely not settled down as they were earlier.
I think now you're going to start seeing them use those lap cars a little bit more than they did early in the race. If they get a chance to use one for a pick, they're going to use it now.
Oh, yeah, things are going to get a whole lot more serious from here on out.
But Bobby Gill, who led the race earlier, and it looked like he had everything going his way, he's dropped way back into the pack now as everybody's pulling away, as he's dropped back into 4th, and he's got about a half a straightaway between himself and Dave Mader the third place car in car number 92. And as I heard Bobby come down the front straightaway, that engine just didn't seem like it sounded quite right, Dick. We'll listen for it this time by when Bobby Gill comes down the front straightaway.
Well, I'd hate to think that because that man sure had a lot of engine problems this year.
That seemed to sound all right to me. It just seems to me like that Russell Bearden's turned up the wick now after having that near fatal spin down there in turn 3 and 4. He's coming on strong.
And Darrell Shelnut down the back straightaway is trying to move underneath Bobby Gill to take over that 4th spot, and indeed he has. And Russell Bearden back in the 6th spot in car number 75 will now challenge Gill as he'll go to the outside in the 75 car. And Dave Mader still challenging Mario Gosselin. He'll look to the outside down the back straightaway as they race into the 3rd turn. This is your battle for the 2nd spot as Scott Hansen is out in front, and he's got about a half a straightaway advantage on Mario Gosselin and Dave Mader, with Gosselin and Mader battling for that position. Is that helping Scott Hansen?
That helps the leader for sure. Well, number 1, these guys can't go quite as fast battling against each other. And number 2, they're wearing their tires a little bit more than him if they get to fighting with each other.
Dick Anderson, on this racetrack with the long straightaways and the speeds that you run out here, do you actually get a draft on this speedway?
I don't think so, Roby. I think you have to go just a little bit faster. Not a lot, but maybe another 10, 15 mile an hour and the draft would come into effect.
There you see Mike Garvey just trying to hang on to the 91 car, an early leader, as he's back, I believe, now in about the 7th or 8th position after tagging the wall earlier. And Dave Mader has worked his way around Mario Gosselin.
Made it look easy.
And he is pulling away from Gosselin
I tell you
now.
what, that Dodge is running right now, Ruby.
Do you get the feeling right now that Scott Hansen's probably the only one on this racetrack who doesn't want a caution?
Oh, I guarantee he doesn't want a caution.
Working lap number 200 when they cross the stripe this time by. There will be 50 laps to go. And Dave Mader, as we said earlier, running a very methodical race. Dick Anderson, is the game plan going the way it should be going right now?
Close to it. Not exactly the way it was planned, but close to it.
Dave Mader is now beginning to assert himself into this field, and he hasn't run up with the leaders much tonight, but after we went back to green after that last caution period, he's certainly shown the muscle of that Mopar Performance Dodge, as now he tries to reel in Scott Hansen, and it looks like he is indeed beginning to close in on the leader, Dick Anderson.
Exactly, and Frankie Grill builds that car and does the chassis, so you got to give him a lot of credit. He knows how to make these cars fast late in the race, and that's what wins races.
And Dave Mader is a driver that has a lot of experience that he brought in his helmet bag here to USA International Speedway, and he's another driver that likes these longer distance races.
He's ran a lot of them, and that's the reason we picked him, for his experience, because we knew he'd do a good job for us.
He's also got experience with Frankie Grill, so that knowledge between the two of them,
Yes,
communication was good.
Exactly. He's been one of Frankie's drivers through the years.
And there you just saw the rear deck lid of Scott Hansen's car briefly in the picture, as it won't be long until Dave Mader will have him in his sights. He's just now about 8 car lengths behind the leader. There you see him just going out of your picture in the white car with a blue number, Scott Hansen, as Dave Mader is coming to the front in car number 92.
I tell you what, he's coming quick too.
So Scott Hansen, he is sitting there, and I'm sure that he can now see a good portion of that 92 car in his rearview mirror, and I'm sure his crew has told him the 92 car is coming.
If you'll see that Dodge is standing on the bottom of the racetrack, and Hansen's having to drift up, so.
And now we are going to see a challenge for the lead. Scott Hansen out of Franklin, Wisconsin, car number 53, leading Maline, Alabama's Dave Mader III in the Mopar Performance Dodge Daytona in car number 92. And we'll be back with this battle for the lead, but we're going to take a quick break and be right back, so don't go away.